My name's Erol, and together with my teammates Varun and Kai over there, we have been working to help the disabled community here in Jackson. For people in wheelchairs, many shops, stores, and sometimes even public spaces like parks and libraries can prove to be a challenge to enter and maneuver inside. More often than not, this information isn't necessarily available, requiring some form of prior inspection. To overcome this issue, our partners at Disability Connections have been conducting surveys in the Jackson area since last year. The problem then became, how can we best share this information with the community? How can we make this accessibility-related information more accessible? To answer these questions, we created Access for All, a web portal that aggregates and simplifies all this information for the community. Now you can go online to learn whether you can actually enter a shop or store without having to scope it out beforehand. Information on the Access for All site is searchable and organized by categories, and most importantly, can be reached just as easily via smartphones as it can by computer. Our site also has a commenting system in place, allowing the community to engage with each other and with Disability Connections. Since people can request to have establishments and public spaces surveyed, we hope that by offering this information, we will make it more attractive for local establishments to ensure that they are accessible, and we will be able to service everyone in the community just as equally. So if you know anyone with disabilities, be sure to let them know about Disability Connections Access for All initiative, and that they can go to accessforall.disabilityconnect.org to learn more about where they can go without having to worry about whether they can get through the door or not. Thank you.
So the sustainability on this is really strong because you have an existing community partner that's already started the project and the process of surveying before you got involved. So I think that's great. You've translated that really well. It's very clear. I like the addition of the option to allow people to choose to be surveyed. Some of the challenges that we talked about, how do you deal with businesses that don't want to participate? Because it'd still be useful to know what the accessibility is. I think also finding a way, and this is something for the partner organization, finding a way to include other aspects of accessibility, like for people with visual impairments. I think it would be also cool to figure out some kind of reward and incentive system so that people who did participate, maybe they'd be encouraged to do it, and it could be like a celebration of accessibility. But good job.
So I also thought this was a really strong idea. I did have a question that we discussed briefly about the discoverability of the surveys and their results. So how, if I am a person who does have a disability of some sort, how do I know to actually that this resource is available to me? So they're wondering if, Disability Connect obviously has very strong and deep ties to other organizations, so maybe making sure that their partners know about this. And you said you guys are trying to work with other nonprofits, et cetera. Maybe the city could be involved because there are certainly accessibility requirements for permitting and things like that. So I would just think there's a lot of avenues to consider incentivizing these businesses to participate in such a program. I think it's great.
As I engaged with the team, I was impressed with the way the application looked. The way you've worked with your partner organization, I thought it was excellent. I really appreciate the fact that there's definitely expandability for future use. But I think one of the things that we really need to focus on is you're always going to get feedback on information from your users. And yes, you want to encourage other businesses to use it and be part of the network. And the hope is that they all are. One item I think that could be very well expanded on this site automatically is going to be the public transportation phase. So that's something I didn't really see, but I think that's something that's going to be so important because if they don't have a way to get to that restaurant, they don't have a way to get to that business, you want to be able to engage the public transportation system as well. And it could even be your somebody that can help drive, so like having a community mobility group that retirees that will be happy to help drive people to different places. It doesn't have to be just normal city public transportation. Thank you.